Alright, we got our first zoo animal here, and who do we have?
This is Kaya, the American kestrel.
Okay, and she's kind of like a falcon, you said, huh?
Yeah, she's the smallest member of the falcon family. American kestrels are native here to Indiana. You can find them right here in the Lafayette area. Kaya herself was born in the Lafayette area, or here in Indiana, and she sustained an injury in the wild. You can actually see on her right wing, it droops just a little bit, and there's a spot where she actually had a compound fracture. And because of that injury, she's no longer able to fly well enough to live on her own. So she's a non-releasable bird, and she's found a permanent home at the Columbian Park Zoo.
And she's flapping that tail feather there.
Yeah, her tail is bobbing up and down. She does that a little bit for balance, since her wings aren't exactly the way they were meant to be in nature, but she also bobs her tail a lot. We see it when she's very excited, very alert, paying attention to what's going on around her. So she's on high alert today.
And she's not throwing a temper tantrum like she was earlier.
She does throw temper tantrums sometimes, but right now she's being a pretty good girl.
Okay, we got our second animal right here. It's a giant lizard-like thing with a ginormous tail. Who do we have here?
This is Clarice. She's called a Solomon Island skink. Sometimes she's also called a prehensile-tailed skink, or my favorite of her common names, monkey-tailed skink.
Nice.
And all those names, of course, come from the fact that this is a rare species that actually has a long tail that can grasp tree branches. This is a rainforest lizard, and she would live up in the canopy, so having that grasping tail is very, very handy for her to get around.
Is she pretty fast?
She's not terribly fast. She's more of a deliberate mover, clutching the tree branches, holding on very tightly. And she camouflages quite well in the rainforest, so moving slowly helps to enhance that camouflage.
And she's got an interesting feature in her saliva for being a vegetarian, correct?
She sure does. Solomon Island skinks are known for having an anticoagulant in their saliva, and it's kind of a mystery for a vegetarian how that helps them, but it's a pretty neat feature. And it definitely means you do not want to be bitten by this lizard.
Otherwise you will bleed and it will not clot up very well, will it?
That's correct.
What is supposedly one of the cutest animals in all of the zoo. Now, who's this?
This is Peggy Sue the porcupine.
Peggy Sue the porcupine.
She's a North American porcupine, and she's going to stay right here in her cab so she doesn't drop her quills all over the studio.
And I think we've seen her before, and she is like an om-nomming master here when she eats stuff.
She loves apples, and she'll do just about anything for an apple. Hey, go ahead, get it. Oh, we dropped it. She's a rodent, so she's got very large, gnawing teeth. But the most prominent feature, of course, about a porcupine are their quills. And you can see she's shed most of her winter coat now, and you can see these white and brown mottled quills all over her body that are going to protect her. She's going to raise them up here. If any predator comes along that wants to harm her, she's got an amazing suit of armor right here.
She loves those apples.
She loves apples. It's her absolute favorite treat.
And she's got like the rodent teeth too, the big old buck teeth.
She sure does, and she'll just nibble away. In fact, she nibbles on just about everything. So we give her branches and logs and things in her enclosure at the zoo so that she can keep those teeth in good shape. Oh, okay. Didn't like that.